Once upon a time, a lease project lived in a shining castle. One night, an old investor came to the castle and offered the project a calendar with an effective date. Repulsed by the pressure, the project deferred the effective date. At that moment, the investor's appearance melted away to reveal a FASB board member. As punishment, the member turned the project into a hideous beast. The calendar he had offered was actually an enchanted calendar. If the project could meet the needs of the stakeholders and earn a single practitioner's love for the project before the effective date, the spell would be broken. As the effective date approached, he fell into despair, for who could ever come to love a capitalized lease?
Little town with a common problem, how to capitalize a lease. Everyone is just so frustrated, waking up to say,
To do, we must know what to do.
there goes the baker with the brand new oven. He chose to lease and not to buy. Now he has a troubling feat, put it on the balance sheet, and he wonders if he'll ever get it right.
Right from the moment that I leased my building, I knew I would not be there long. So an operating lease would be perfect for my needs, but I hear that I must now capitalize. Good morning, Mel. What do you have there?
Good morning, Fastbon. It's the new lease accounting standard.
Why waste your time reading that?
Because all leases must now go on the balance sheet, and I have to understand how to do that properly.
That's way too much trouble, Mel. What do you say we expense operating leases like we always have?
That sounds nice, Fastbon, but my father says that's not an option.
What does your crazy old father know?
He's not crazy. He teaches accounting CPE. But he's gone missing, and I must find him. Good day, Fastbon.
Mark my words, I will destroy that new lease standard. Look! The calendar has lost another page!
Yes, if someone does not love the new lease standard soon, we are doomed to be like this forever.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh my! Where is my father?
I'm afraid he's being held captive by the master.
Why?
Because he wants your father to explain in his seminars that the new lease standard is not a beast.
But it is, because all leases now will have to go on the balance sheet.
Get used to it.
It's the master.
Your father must learn that to be a finance lease for the lessee, one of 5 criteria must be met. First, the ownership must transfer by the end of the lease.
Second, there must be a purchase option that the lessee is reasonably certain to exercise.
Third, the lease term will need to be for the major part of the economic life of the asset.
Fourth, the present value of the lease payments will need to be at least the fair value of the asset.
And lastly, the asset can have no alternative use to the lessor at the end of the lease.
And if it fails all your rules?
Then it would be an operating lease for the lessee.
Well, that doesn't sound much different from the old rules.
Well,
You know, come to think of it,
I suppose if you want to be picky, it's basically the same.
Then release my father and keep me instead.
Done.
So, I'm to be trapped here forever?
It's not so bad. While you're my guest, you have permission to use my library.
You have a library?
Well, actually, it only has 1 book. Here.
This is the updated lease standard.
Well, yeah. Enjoy.
you see, mademoiselle, A lease is defined as a contract that conveys the right to control the use of the identified property.
I see. Thank you for the dinner, Candelabra. But why does the Beast insist on a new standard?
Because, my dear, it will present the rights and obligations of the lease better, and it will reduce the opportunity to structure a lease in a way to keep it off the balance sheet.
I suppose that would allow for better comparability.
But of course! And it provides much better disclosures as well.
I think I'm beginning to understand. At least it certainly looks a lot better than the earlier exposure drafts.
Oh, it is! This really is the best!
This is best, this is best, so much better than the rest. We have kept the basic guidance and disposed of all the mess. For the lessee it will be just like it used to be. Only two small categories, financing or operating, to decide. There are 5 little things that you must mind, and they're really the same as they were before. Go on and read the lease, and I am sure you'll see that this is best, not a mess. This is best.
So, for the lessee for both operating and finance leases, you will record a right-of-use asset and a lease liability.
That's right, Mel. And the liability will be measured as the present value of these lease payments.
That's really not any different from how it was measured under the old rules for a capitalized lease.
There will be a few changes for the valuation of the asset depending on the terms.
It's so nice to see her accepting the new standard.
Yes, this spell should be broken in no time!
Oh, but it's not that simple, Candelabra. She also has to understand the changes for the income statement as well.
That's right. For a finance lease, although the concept is the same, you have amortization instead of depreciation.
But an operating lease still has a straight line expense.
But you have to make a few adjustments to the balance sheet to get it all to work.
Do this every time, and correct you'll be. Nearly every lease users want to see for transparency. Keep expenses same. Users want the lease where it can be seen on the balance sheet. Don't make it a beast.
Oh no! It's Fastbon and the villagers!
There you are, Beast! I will not allow you to change the lease rules. It's bad enough that you're requiring all leases to be capitalized, but changing the rules for the lessor as well? That's going too far.
But he hasn't changed the rules.
You can't fool me. The lessor will have to categorize the lease based on whether they've maintained risks and benefits. No, I do not believe that to be true. And then if they do, they'll have to set up a lease liability, to whom I ask.
No, I'm afraid that was removed with the issuance of the second exposure draft.
So, essentially for the lessor, the accounting hasn't changed?
Yeah,
Pretty
basically.
much.
Yes,
Basically? Never mind killing the beast. It's all good. Look, the final page!
You know, Beast, I really do love the new standard.
You like me. You really, really like me. Goodness me.
It's so good to be back to my old self.
Actually, I was always just a candelabra.